G'day. Welcome everybody, coming close. Oh, beautiful, thank you. We're going to get started momentarily. Now, so you all hushed, but you didn't come closer. Come on, come on. You can't let the big orange blob be between you and the action. So thank you, that's beautiful. Well, welcome, friends, one and all. This is a really exciting day for regional New South Wales because it's the day we recognise and celebrate the role that artists and creative organisations play in making this state the vibrant cultural powerhouse that it is. We're launching Heartland, a plan for regional New South Wales. Now, this is a 10-year vision for arts, culture and creative industries in regional New South Wales. My name's Tim Kirilovich. I'm the manager of Museum of the Riverina, just around the corner in Wagga Wagga on Wiradjuri country, and I'll be your MC today. I had the absolute privilege to chair a working party that guided the development of this plan. But to start these proceedings right, I'd like to first invite Mark Sutherland up to welcome us to country. Welcome, Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. My name's Mark Sutherland. I'm a proud Gomeroi man, an elected councillor on Tamworth Regional Council and a part of one of the many families that call this region home. I've been asked to make sure that we follow traditional protocol by acknowledging country. I'd like to say Yama de Gomeroi, Wallabag Niani Wunungalawa, Lambo Mari, Maromara Ngale Darwin, Dilia Yanbali, Ganamarus Gaingal Gomeroi Ngamlanginda, Winalanginda, Winangalawa. And that's the language spoken by our families and our communities right here in Tamworth, making sure that we acknowledge the country that we're on and that we pay respects to elders who have cared and still care for this country. Tamworth is a beautiful place, and anyone who lives here has seen that. And stories have been shared here for thousands of years. These stories make us who we are. We've told these stories through songs and dance and through artwork for thousands of years. And it's so exciting to know that the voices of people from right across the region, from right here in Tamworth, and continue to be shared and respected and valued, to make sure that we're leaving a legacy that our generations of children will inherit, that knows that this is a place where they belong, that this is a place they call home. And I'd like to thank the Minister and for everybody who's made this event possible, bringing the attention to Tamworth, the capital of country, and make sure that, that when you're here that you're welcomed on the country. We all have a responsibility to look after this place and the people who live here. I'm part of a community who respect that, and I'm honoured to be part of a council that feels the same. Thank you very much and welcome to country.
Thank you so much, Mark. It is great to be on Gomeroi land. And of course, to all the people watching on the live stream, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're really delighted to have you with us today as well. And now to welcome us to the beautiful city and electorate of Tamworth. Let's put our hands together and give a very warm welcome to Member for Tamworth, the Honourable Kevin Anderson.
Well, good morning, everybody. And firstly, I'd also like to acknowledge we are on Kamilaroi country. Thank our elders past and present for allowing us to be here and together in this very, very special place, the Tamworth Regional Art Gallery, which is the People's Gallery. One, all, everybody is welcome. And Mark, thank you very much for that welcome. A special welcome to the Minister of State, Minister for Transport, Minister for the Arts and Minister for Music and the Nighttime Economy, and a good friend of the arts and culture right across New South Wales and particularly regional New South Wales, the Honourable John Graham. Please give him a round of applause. And I'd like to firstly acknowledge that this was meant to be held a couple of weeks ago, but John very kindly has postponed until today due to unforeseen circumstances. So John, heartfelt thank you, and I can't tell you what that means. So thank you so much, and welcome back to Tamworth. You've been here on many, many occasions, and we welcome your visits all the time because you bring joy, you bring culture, you bring connectivity to our communities and help us to express who we are through our culture and our talks and our plays and our arts and everything that does go with the prolific regional arts and cultural production and programming right across our region. Regional New South Wales is unique. There's no doubt about it. We have a lot of different tyrannies that we must encounter, whether it's tyrannies of distance, whether it's culture, whether it's connectivity. We need to know that the government is looking out for us and making sure that we can produce and that we can produce the finest arts, whatever it may or may not be, whether it's performance or in this space as well. The government is backing it, and we really appreciate that. So I just want to say welcome again, John. Welcome to everybody that has come across to join with us today. Welcome to the Tamworth electorate. Welcome to the New England and to those that have travelled. It's so nice to see your smiling face. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, before we invite the Minister to launch this plan, I'm going to set the scene a little bit about how we got to this point today. So, there was an obvious need for a regional plan. I think people in the regional arts community have known this for a long time, but it really came about during the production of the Extraordinary Creative Communities Policy, which this government launched 2 years ago. As they put that policy together, they grappled with just the sheer breadth of what it is, what the arts and creative industries actually is. How do you create a policy that helps a poet hammering away on the words at a notepad and also helps the people who are trying to film an action movie? How do you create a policy that grapples with AI, global IP? How do I rent a studio space affordably in my community? And so what became really clear was that a slew of industry-specific plans were needed. Fashion, gaming, literature, the list goes on. But beyond that, they also identified two very significant geographical regions that needed and deserved their own strategic focus. So one plan that focused on the populational and cultural powerhouse of Western Sydney, and another on the vast and diverse cultural landscape of regional New South Wales. Because New South Wales is different. As well as being home to Australia's great global city, 40% of New South Wales's population lives in the region. Over 3 million people. That's bigger than a lot of other big cities in Australia. And that's why it's such a milestone that the New South Wales Government launches this first ever dedicated plan to supporting arts, culture and creative industries right where they are, in the hundreds of remote, rural, regional communities spread across this magnificent state. I think it's a real pleasure and privilege to be launching this in Tamworth today. There's something in the water in Tamworth. Everybody knows this place resounds with music and vibrancy, and it's a global hotspot for country music. But there's a heck of a lot more to this city's cultural landscape. We are delighted to be in Tamworth's Regional Art Gallery today, and I'd like to thank Bridget Guthrie and her team for hosting us today. Bridget's a legend of the regional arts community. She's established this gallery's laudable reputation over many years, including for its nationally recognised textile triennial. But we're also in the presence of other local regional arts superstars. Peter Ross, champion of performing arts and the development of extraordinary venues. Lorraine Fishenden from the Aboriginal Regional Arts Alliance, which does Aboriginal cultural development statewide from this beautiful place. Lauren Mackley and the team from Arts Northwest, who do extraordinary strategic behind-the-scenes work around, I think, 12 different local government areas. I could go on, and of course, I'll neglect somebody, but you get the picture. There's something in the water in Tamworth. But the thing is, it doesn't matter which town you go to in this beautiful country. You will find communities that have a little something in the water, or a little something rustling through the trees, or sparkling over the waves, or echoing across the plains. Because across the towns, cities and rural localities of regional New South Wales, there are constellations of really, really, really good artists and arts organisations that shimmer and spark. Regional arts development organisations, Aboriginal cultural centres, museums, galleries, conservatoria, creative groups, artist-run initiatives. The team counted 1,030 of them while they were researching this plan, and that was just the desktop research. These organisations are some of the state's smallest cultural organisations, but the artists and creative workers of regional New South Wales enrich us with vibrant happenings, inspired creations, unique experiences and social connections that have an outside impact, often against all odds. So that's the challenge for making a plan like this. Every regional community has its own very unique combination of creative resources, of infrastructure to play with, different local strengths, different collections, institutions, histories. Cookie cutter approaches won't cut it. For this plan to succeed, it needs to have actions in it that are useful to every community and able to be taken and moulded and applied in a different way, wherever that is. So how do you put together a plan that meets such diverse needs? Well, what this government did was it appointed a working party of arts practitioners from across every corner of this state and then empowered them to have genuine input across a 9-month process. I won't be listing the working parties by name. If it were up to me, we'd be unveiling marble busts of each of their heads in a permanent display. But you can and you should have a look at each of their smiling faces and read their very impressive biographies in the plan, which you can download from the Create New South Wales website now. The starting point wasn't a blank page. Create New South Wales had already consulted extensively when writing the Creative Communities Policy. They'd held town halls in Lismore, Broken Hill, Dubbo, Newcastle, Wollongong, Wagga, Bega and here in Tamworth. And so they'd already gathered thousands of submissions and hundreds more online. There was an extensive data set to draw from. However, the working party worked through these submissions with rigour and care alongside the amazing staff of Create New South Wales and determined something straight away. We needed to consult deeper, tease out these issues with people on the ground. We needed to understand, test ideas, ensure that the ideas put forward would actually work in different contexts. So over several months, myself and the Create New South Wales team conducted dozens more face-to-face interviews with artists, creative workers and creative industries practitioners to do just that. As you leaf through the plan, you will see a sampling of those people and organisational viewpoints featured in case studies and quotes. And I think they give a really great picture of the breadth of viewpoints that were taken into consideration and the work this plan is trying to do. And so month by month, the working party and the wonderful, diligent staff of Create New South Wales worked, identifying priorities, developing creative solutions and agonising over how things could be implemented fairly and with the biggest impact. I'm sure that every member of the working party will recognise their own expert contributions as they turn the pages of this plan, and every one of them deserves to radiate with pride for what's been achieved. And like all government work, the tireless work of public servants is often invisible and unacknowledged. So I'm going to take this opportunity to say a few names. Beck, Mark, Lauren, Nat, Juliana, Bethy, Yanni, and many, many more. You know the lengths to which you strive, the relentless passion and grind it took to bring together the countless details in this document that we're celebrating today. From the depths of my heart, thank you for dignifying this plan with your utmost commitment. Throughout this plan's development, a slew of representatives from other government departments, including TAFE, Destination New South Wales and the Department of Education, and more, provided additional insights into existing and planned government programs. Opportunities were sought to leverage, collaborate and amplify the impact of this plan. So you'll see the fruit of those conversations too. And I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the insane behind-the-scenes work of Kerry Glasscock and the Minister and his team to secure this buy-in, making this a truly whole-of-government effort. The Minister's going to share some very exciting announcements momentarily and talk you through some of the key parts of this plan. There will be some headline commitments, and I'm pretty sure there'll be some significant new funding announcements too. But I want to urge each of you to take the time to read it yourself in full, because there are some real Easter eggs contained in these pages that may not get a mention today. There are so many new initiatives and ideas contained within this plan that might just be transformative in your context. And you'll find the vast majority of the proposals could apply to projects and partnerships from anywhere in this state. It's reliant upon you, in other words, to bring forward proposals that connect, unlock, amplify, and activate the creative sector and the magic in the water where you are. Heartland, a plan for regional New South Wales, is in your hands. The resourceful, creative, visionary artists and creative leaders of regional New South Wales. Let's show the world what we can do. So now, to officially launch Heartland, please join me in welcoming the Honourable John Graham, Minister for the Arts.
Thanks so much, Tim, and it's great to be back here in Tamworth. As you've heard, I've been up regularly for the Country Music Festival, and this is, of course, the capital of country, but I accept that only coming up to Tamworth during the Country Music Festival is a bit like going to the beach only on New Year's Day. It's great to be back here and being back to send an important message that creativity doesn't roll in and out on a truck in Tamworth in January. Creativity is a constant in this community here, as you've heard from Tim, who beautifully described it, but you couldn't illustrate that better than this incredible space that we're in here, this gallery. Congratulations to Bridget and the whole team for the work you do here every week. I really want to thank Mark for that welcome. Oh, we should thank Bridget properly. I want to thank Mark for that welcome, and I'd like to pay my respect to the traditional owners, the Kamilaroi people. I'd like to give a really big thank you to Kevin Anderson for hosting us here today. And of course, that's doubly so at a tough time for him and his family. I didn't want to launch this policy without him. I'm so glad we could hold it off and be here today. The reason why we had decided to do it up here together is Kevin's been a big advocate for regional arts, and it's a big part of the bipartisan tradition we've had of supporting arts and culture here in New South Wales. That's a really important culture. It's one I support. It's one we don't want to lose. So I particularly want to thank you for being here today, being able to do this together. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge the Council and Russell Webb. The other reason we're keen to be here in Tamworth is it's such a supportive council when it comes to arts and culture. So to Russell and the whole team, thanks for the work you do backing in arts and culture in this region. And lastly, and most importantly, thanks to all of you, regional arts and culture lovers, for being here today to join in the launch of Heartland, a plan for regional New South Wales arts, culture and creative industries. For me, as Arts Minister, this is a particularly special plan. I know how important regional arts and culture was. The first performances I saw weren't Aida on the stage of the Opera House, it was the Mikado at the Albury Civic Centre. I picked up my early love of Australian music as a 14-year-old broadcasting to my local community on the community radio station, and I grew up with a mum who loved theatre and a dad who was a volunteer guide at the Newcastle Art Gallery. So I know how important it is when you live in a regional town to have access to arts and culture. It makes a huge difference to the community, and as a result, this is a very special plan. And thank you so much to the working group for pulling it together. We have to reflect, as we kick off here, on the tens of thousands of years of living First Nations culture, right through to some of Australia's most treasured early colonial art and literature, through the absolutely cutting edge. Our regional creatives have long made an enormous contribution to our cultural life and to our economy. This plan recognises that creativity in our regions is a strong force. It employs more than 52,000 people. It contributes $6 billion to cultural tourism. It brings communities together and it tells unique stories about the places in our towns. It brings communities. This plan is an important moment for building on that base and boosting government support for art in regional New South Wales. As you've heard from Tim, the journey to get us here really started in the early months of government when we hit the road for the Creative Communities consultation. We started out in Lismore, and we did that deliberately because at the time it was a flood-hit town. When we spoke to people there, or in Bega, or in Broken Hill, in Dubbo, in Wagga, or here in Tamworth, we got a similar message, that so much government support and attention was going to our big cultural institutions. Now, they're amazing, but they're all within a stone's throw of the harbour. What we heard as we toured around the state was that regional creatives feel undervalued. First Nations creatives are underrepresented. There were training gaps and a lack of creative spaces. There was a clear message that you wanted a better connection between communities, and that meant people wanted to take the best of what they had and send it elsewhere, but they also wanted the best of arts and culture across New South Wales to come and visit them where they were in their hometown. And that's a big focus in the strategy, building these connections between communities. In particular, I want to recognise that our regional arts development organisations play a big role in building and maintaining those connections. That's why the strategy provides funding security to those organisations, a safety net to make sure that funding isn't cut or withdrawn altogether from them. It recognises that without those organisations, regional communities would struggle with arts and culture. They're absolutely irreplaceable. It's also why the strategy offers more support for touring, which is about getting our regional artists on the road and bringing more great art to our towns. And we heard the community voice when they talked about the value of First Nations artists. And that's strategic priority number one in this plan, championing First Nations arts and culture. We'll do that by delivering paid workplace internships in First Nations-led organisations and increasing representation of First Nations artists at art fairs around the country, and increasing training and programming opportunities in state cultural institutions. What's also been clear throughout this whole process is that in regional New South Wales, even modest amounts of support from the government can have a big impact. And one of the things Tim said during the consultation, which I was so glad to hear, is that every dollar in this strategy is incredibly well spent. Thanks to Tim, thanks to the working group, the whole team who've worked on this. To be able to say that is a reflection on the strategy and the work that's gone into it, but also, if we're honest, the vast need for support in our regional communities. So I'm very pleased as we launch this plan to announce an additional $5 million of support for regional arts and culture. My hope is that in 10 years' time, that in 10 years' time, we have to make sure that the whole arts and culture system in New South Wales is turned outwards from the harbour and is really looking right across the state. For creative communities in Bega, Broken Hill, in Tamworth, in Dubbo, in Wagga, they should feel more engaged, more supported to continue creating amazing work, bringing visitors to their region, and above all, telling their stories to the world. So I really want to thank all of you for being a part of that journey. Thanks for the work you do. Thanks especially to the working group for their incredible contribution to the future of regional arts and culture in New South Wales. Can you join me in thanking them as we launch Heartland, a plan for regional New South Wales arts, culture and creative industries.
Thank you, Minister. So it's an important thing to note. You've all got these beautiful little fold-out cards today, but that's not the whole plan. That's the snapshot. Go to the website and read the thing. And let me tell you some enticing figures why you might want to. No, there. That's right. That's good. It's good, but it gets better. So the minister just used a very big number. Isn't that exciting? It's not all about the money, but it does help a little bit, doesn't it? So look at the plan. You'll see $1 million for a new regional New South Wales Strategic Partnerships Fund, supporting co-funded initiatives with arts and cultural orgs, councils, universities, philanthropists and businesses. Another $500,000 supporting regional touring programs. That's huge. $400,000 to work with First Nations culture and creative communities to explore opportunities, to bring those practitioners together and really forge a new pathway as New South Wales First Nations artists. And the list goes on. 16 paid internships in regional arts organisations. Brokerage positions to support regional touring and connect the dots between touring product and venues on the ground. It goes on and on and on. An amazing cultural tourism program, funding for regional community bands to access the support they need. And I'll leave the rest. You want to know the rest? Go look yourself. So I now have the absolute pleasure to invite the Mayor of Tamworth, Mayor Russell Webb, to come up and say a few words.
Well, thanks very much for that, and welcome, Minister Graham. It's great to have you back here in Tamworth again. In fact, it's wonderful to have you in what we call the capital of country, and I notice you made a mention of that. It's not just a capital of country music, it's a capital of country. And we see this as a heartland of the Northwest in terms of arts and culture. So, Minister, on behalf of Regional New South Wales, Regional Cities New South Wales, which I'm the Deputy Chair of, I'd like to thank you for the leadership that you've given to delivering the arts plan and the commitment to regional arts and culture. And I would like to sincerely thank you on behalf of all those members for that. Regional arts and culture is essential to community wellbeing, identity and livability across all of the regional city, across our New South Wales area. I think it's just fantastic to have that announcement here today. Very proud to be here in Tamworth, having you back here so that you did make that announcement. Sustainable and equitable funding, though, for us across New South Wales is really critical for us to enable us to do what we do. I'd like to also, while we're here, acknowledge that Kevin Anderson's been very active in this space, and I know he's been very supportive of you in what you're doing in trying to deliver, I guess, this regional arts plan, and I know that Kevin's as excited for you to be here today and doing that release. I'd also like to just say thank you to the many staff that work for our regional council here in our area, and I'd like to thank the staff for all of the regional cities of New South Wales that have got a team of staff that actually work towards providing the arts and culture that each region needs. And of course, arts and culture builds community, it shapes identity, it creates support for mental health, and it also it actually enriches children's education. I don't think we realise just how important arts and culture is across our regional cities in New South Wales. Or many of us don't realise that. But Minister, thank you because you recognised it, and with your team you've been able to deliver this wonderful program, this Heartland program, which we're so excited about. And I thank you for coming to Tamworth and doing it here, and I thank you for you and your team for making regional New South Wales a very important part of sustainable, I guess, arts and culture recognition into the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Webb. Now, for the most exciting bit, a little bit of art. Let's put our hands together to welcome local performer Sally Ann Witten to sing a couple of songs for us.
Hi everyone. Welcome to Tamworth. Isn't this exciting? What a great day for the arts. I've brought Alwyn Orish along today and we're going to play a couple of original songs for you, but I would just like to say how excited I am about this. This is so great. As a local artist, we all know, everyone in this room knows that what makes a community great is the arts, right? That's what makes a vibrant community, yeah. And we have a really great, vibrant arts community here in Tamworth, and I'm so proud to be part of it. So thanks for inviting me along today. And this plan is so exciting because, well, it's just great to see the arts acknowledged and valued. So thank you very much for that. This is a song about resilience. I think anyone who works in the arts can identify you need a lot of that. Ground has disappeared beneath my feet. Though the sun is beating down, I can't feel its heat today. The birds outside my window, something's wrong. I see them dancing merrily, but I can't hear their song today. I know this feeling won't stay. But when the world gets heavy and the days wear thin, I need a hand to hold me steady when the walls are caving in. Carry me. Could you stay a little longer? Till I feel a little stronger, sweet relief will come. The night will surely kiss the dawn. Until then, oh, carry me. Shadows never stay to settle in. I like to let them come and go, shape-shifters beckoning again. Well, I might seem to bear this heaviness with grace. It's easier to smile than show the etches on my face like shame. Though I can't give myself away. When the world gets heavy and the colors fade to gray, it's times you need a little something just to numb the pain. Carry me. Could you stay a little longer? Carry me till I feel a little stronger. Sweet relief will come. The night will surely kiss the dawn. Until then, oh, carry me. Oh, life is such sweet, sweet sorrow. I'll rest my weary heart, and I'll try again tomorrow. Carry me. Could you stay a little longer? Carry me until I feel a little stronger. sweet relief will come. The night will surely kiss the dawn. Until then, oh, sweet relief will come. The night will surely kiss the dawn. Until then, carry me. Thank you. Well, we thought we might end our little spot here today with a song that I actually wrote with another Tamworth singer-songwriter. As I said, we have a really great, vibrant original music scene, live music scene here. And anyone from here might know James Craswell, incredibly talented singer-songwriter and a friend of mine. We actually wrote this over COVID via Messenger, as you do. And yeah, we recorded it from our last record. This is about having great friends. Have you ever met someone who lit you up inside? Found all your dark corners where you like to hide away, and they light the way. You can start to flail and they never even flinch. They thrash, cry and wail, and they don't move an inch. Like an old white gum, steadfast and strong. They're not afraid to crack, 'cause you know that's how the light gets in. And you never look back, 'cause that's not where you're going. So let's say a little prayer for the ones not afraid of the dark. Put our pieces back together when our whole world falls apart. They drag us all towards the light, 'cause they know what it's like to need just a little spark. Oh, here's to the ones not afraid of the dark. Yes, you've always been the one to drag me out of the mess. You take a world full of nonsense and you make some sense of it all. Catch me when I fall, casting off the demons climbing up on my back, making me better, making me laugh. That's you. Through. And you're not afraid to crack, 'cause you know that's how the light gets in. And you never look back, 'cause that's not where you're going. So let's say a little prayer for the ones not afraid of the dark. Together when our whole world falls apart. They drag us all towards the light, 'cause they know what it's like to need just a little spark. Oh, here's to the ones not afraid of the dark. I wish there was a way to repay all the kindness that you've shown, all the times you've saved my life. I wonder if you know. Drag us all towards the light, 'cause they know what it's like to need just a little little spark. Oh, here's to the ones not afraid of the dark. Oh, here's to the ones not afraid of the dark. Not afraid of the dark. Not afraid of the dark. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Give it up for Sally Ann Whitten. Amazing, amazing. For those on the live stream, thank you for joining us. For those present, lucky you, you get to stick around for morning tea. Stick around, enjoy, get to know who's here. There's Touch the Art in here, how good's that? And make sure you check out the other exhibitions too. Thank you once again to the Tamworth Regional Gallery for hosting us. There's sandwiches out there, enjoy, and we'll see you out here. See you again. Cheers.